Okay, recording is in process. Just Doc, so you know that I do all the editing here in house, so this will be edited to look more like a podcast show than just a Zoom meeting. All right.
Excellent.
All right. All right. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody to another episode of How to Beat Your Addiction, Live a Quality Life with John Giordano. I'm your host, Scott Jones, and we're so glad you could join us here today. We're doing something a little different. We've got a guest joining us, and it's Dr. Robb Kelly. And Robb and John have had some history, and they're going to be talking about addiction and a lot of other things. Right, John?
Absolutely. Robb has a great story. And, well, Robb, it's yours.
Hey, guys. Good to see you all, guys. My name's Robb, and I'm an alcoholic. I like drugs as well. So, yeah, good to be here, guys. Good to speak to you. It's such a great day today.
Where are you joining us from? Because we're down in Florida.
Yeah, I'm in San Antonio, Texas. I'm originally from England, but yeah, I visit Florida once a month right now. I have a patient over there. So I love me some Florida.
Well, one of the things that I was thinking about, people go, what does the 12-step program do for me? What does therapy do for me? How does this stuff work? I remember when I first got, clean, I didn't want to join a new religion. I thought it was a new religion. I wouldn't even get high with these kind of people, I thought. And I thought everybody was making connections outside to sell drugs to one another. I had no clue about this. And I think a lot of people that come into recovery, I don't believe they really understand, what goes on in meetings, why it's good for you, why it's good to go to therapy, why it's good to go an aftercare program if you come out of treatment. Maybe you want to, expound upon that and how it helps you, or,
Yeah, I mean, I study neuroplasticity regarding the brain. I studied neuroscience regarding addiction and the brain. So there's a bunch more of stuff than just going to anywhere and stopping drinking. I mean, if alcohol's the symptom, what's the real problem going on here is what we ask ourselves, because it could be food, it could be sex, it could be porn, it could be anything. It's just that alcohol does more damage, and alcohol reacts differently to the brain than a drug or a video or anything else. So we have added consequences there, of course. So when I wanted to get well, it took me quite a long, this was my addiction. So lots of stuff started to go wrong, and I didn't see it was a problem. And then I remember stabbing my wife 3 times one night because she won't let me finish my vodka. Didn't see it was a problem. Kids taken up, it didn't see it was a problem. Lost my house, my medical license, my kids, my cars. Nobody would speak to me, end up homeless. Still didn't think it was a problem. So when I was seeking out recovery, I had a huge spiritual awakening on the streets. But, I think that AA is like 90% of my recovery. I do believe in a 12 steps. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said the name there. It's a 12-step group. But I do believe that the fellowship is good, but the book, the first 164, is the most powerful piece of literature I've ever read pertaining to the alcoholic and the recovery of said person. So we have to look at that. The other thing we have to look at, obviously, is the way our brain works. The alcoholic brain reacts differently to the normal brain. For instance, the hypothalamus, which is at the prehistoric brain, that area there at the back, it tells the normal person it's a fight or flight part of the brain. It tells people to run, to stay, to eat, and to drink water, basic instincts of the human being. During the greatest and most chronic phases of alcoholism, it tells me to drink alcohol. That's why I can go days or weeks without drinking water or eat food. I just live on alcohol because that's what my brain's telling me. So when we recover from that, it's very hard just to go to one place and do this. I need to look at the science. I need to look at the behavior, and I need to look at a 12-step program, I think.
Well, I'm glad you're talking about that, because, that's what I always talk about. It's not just don't drink, don't drug, and go to meetings. There's a lot, way, way, way more, because alcohol, drugs, they damage the brain. What is the drivers? And that's what I always talk about. We don't talk about the gut, where dopamine and serotonin is manufactured. The feel-good drugs that we manufacture naturally. We don't talk about a lot of things that can be H. pylori. You can have hyperglycemia. You can have close-head injuries. You can have, leaky gut syndrome. These are all things that could cause depression and anxiety and suicidal ideation. So I'm glad you brought up the neurology of it, because a lot of people don't realize it's a brain disease.
Yep, it is, and disease. Yeah, definitely. It is. Most people don't know that you can't crave for anything that's not already in your body. So alcoholics going, I'm going through some cravings. No, you're not. What actually happens is you're going through some stuff in your brain that makes you want to drink. So you have a compulsion that you want to drink. As soon as we take the alcohol, then our body becomes reliant upon it, hence the DTs if you come off too early. So people don't realize what's involved here. So they go to AA and they fail, or NA or C, and they fail, and they wonder why. Well, this is not for me. Well, it has to be part of your recovery, I say today. We really need to look. The gut feeling that most people have forgotten about, that's a real deal. It goes back to the tribal days when somebody would get a gut feeling and wake the rest of the tribe up, and they'd be ready to fight or run. We don't use that today in our behavior. And that's why, for me, somatic experience is really important, because it looks at the behavior and the feelings around that. And another thing that people don't realize is alcoholism never comes to you on a Monday, guys, and said, hey, Rob, let's have a drink today. It never does that. You got to look a week or even 2 weeks before, when the relapse was really happening. When I sat in the office and looking across and seeing this stupid girl using a Christmas pen that her mother bought her 6 months ago, and it's July, and I get pissed about that. There's the relapse. There's the relapse, yeah? Because by the time it gets to the prefrontal cortex, which says, let's go to the liquor store, it's all over. I've never turned back from the liquor store. I've heard people who have, but I've never turned back. It's too late. Neural pathways are set, and you can't turn them bad boys back. It's like trying to put medication back into a syringe. You ain't going to do it. It's not going to happen. So we have to look at the behavior well before that, the character defects, the anger, the stress, the behavior, the threatening behavior, the isolation, the less than, I've decided today that here's the deal, and this is part of my piece. I'm never going to be blonde enough, tall enough, thin enough, or rich enough. It's just not going to happen for me, because my brain says more. Every time, more. And if you take the alcohol away from that brain that says that and turn it into a business idea, that's how people become millionaires.
It's interesting you're talking about that, because a lot of people don't realize if they do relapse, let's say they go and they get help and then they relapse way before they actually pick up a drug. And what the problem is that you can start seeing the behavior starts changing. Like you say, they isolate, they turn inward, they're not talking about anything anymore. They start lying a little bit, cheating a little bit, manipulating a little bit. All the isms of alcohol and drug addiction come out. And then all of a sudden, they get depressed and they feel shame and guilt, and and the screw it light goes on, and then they say, I'm just gonna have a little bit, and then you're off to the races. Because us addicts and alcoholics, we don't know what a little bit means. More is better.
They don't. I mean, I remember one time when my wife had left, and I got my attorney to get the kids off ages 1 and 3, and they brought them back to the house. So I'm under scrutiny, first of all, because I've got my kids back. I give my attorney like £20,000, I think. Anyway, I remember walking my kids in and sitting in front of the TV. So they were all content watching a cartoon or something. I walked into the kitchen. Now, remember, I have a full control of these kids. It's all my responsibility, and I have to act good. I can't drink. But the thought hit my mind, wouldn't it be great if I had one drink to celebrate my kids coming home? 3 days later, when the police kicked the door down, the room was vodka bottles, empty vodka bottles. I don't remember a thing, but the children not being fed or changed for 3 days. I nearly killed them kids. I didn't want to do that. It was the disease that took over. And that's where it takes people. And that's when they have to realize that when you're suffering from the disease, you do not have a choice when it comes to alcohol. We need a defense against that first drink, you know, and that's what 12-step fellowships and other treatments such as SE, NLP, and I also do brain spotting, takes us to another level. Because if you're not living your life every day as if it's your last day, if you're not happy every single day, and I mean every day, you get these guys, oh, I can't be happy every day. No, not after you said that, you can't. You know, let's get in the mood. Let's get up and get it done. You know, let's inspire people. My job today isn't not to drink. It's to bear witness that are still suffering alcoholic. I might be the only person that they see today that throws them off into a meeting, that throws them off to treatment, that recover. I've lost count, guys, how many times I've been into a 12-step room and people have gone, oh my God, it's Robb Kelly. Oh, thank you for picking me off my grandmother's sofa and getting me well. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. I don't remember doing that. It's just what I do. You know, 6,500 people and almost 30 years down the line. And I've only just started with this shit because this stuff is real, man. Sugarcoating this stuff kills people. And knowledge is powerful in this game. If you don't know the way your body's acting to alcohol and you just think you can put it down for a few days, you probably can. But when you relapse and you stood there going, I don't know why, of course you don't, because it's internal. You've not seen that. You've not seen the 3 days before when you really relapsed. Drinking the alcohol, guys, is not the relapse. It's the behavior and thought pattern comes before picking that drink up. And that's the interesting part.
Can I ask you both something? Because one of the things that has been adapted is the idea of the slip. And, you know, hey, listen, I lived up in central New York. I know what a slip is. A slip is you step outside, you hit the ice, you're on your ass, and there's no defense against it.
Yes.
But I think sometimes we use this term slip almost as a cop-out for that long slide that you've been taking for 2 weeks before you ever picked it up.
Exactly.
A slip doesn't happen. You don't fall down and land in a bottle. You actually put yourself there by your actions and everything else. So there is a defense against there's not a defense against the alcohol, but there is a defense against our own negativity, our own thinking, and our own processes that put us there. Is that right?
It is right. And it's like, let's talk about that slip on the ice. So you get up in the morning, you feel great. You look outside, it's icy and snowing. Do I go down there in slippy shoes and a T-shirt? No, I prepare for that. I'm saying, oh, I've seen the warning signs now. It's snowing and it's icy. So I'm going to prepare myself for that time to make sure I don't slip. You know, the tools are all there for us when we look. And it's the same with the disease. I'm going to prepare for that. How do I prepare? I keep a rigid diary every day, a calendar. I put on 6 things that I'm going to accomplish that day. And if I don't accomplish all of them, it's a step back from my disease. And the disease is kind of laughing at me. The disease is very sneaky. And if I correct all of them, it's a win for the day. And I know that I need to sponsor people. I need to have a sponsor. I need to look at my day. I need to win every day. I need to look at life and not get complacent. It's very hard for me to not get complacent sometimes. I'm stepping off my private jet. I'm going to LA to film a couple of series for TV. I've got over $1 million in my checking account. It's very hard, you know, because I think now and again, my brain will go, oh, you're the man, Robb. You've got it all. That shit's going to kill me. You know, that big book they talk about, it says other words from other people have the capacity to kill us, has the power. I've got to be careful what I listen to. I need guys around me that are going to slap me. In actual fact, I came off an episode of The Doctors, and it went really well, you know, and I came off, and they provide a car for you, airport and back. They provide hotels, of course, and all this. I come off stage, and I'm all buzzing and everything, and people are going, good job. And I said to my wife, where's my chauffeur? Well, she walked up to me and slapped me across the face. And she said, don't you ever hear you say that again. It's not your chauffeur. It's a car they provided. Now get down off that high horse. Otherwise, there's a divorce coming. I need people like that, guys, around me, you know, because it's very easy to get complacent where I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
And that's what I have.
I call it falling asleep.
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
And you can afford to fall asleep, especially when you have the enemy as you. You know, and that's what people don't get. You know, and we talk about ego. It's called, there's a saying in the program, it's easing God out. You know, and the bottom line is that we're selfish and self-centered. And what this recovery teaches us to be more empathetic, more giving, helping people less fortunate than us, learn to be kind instead of right. I mean, we talk about spirituality. That's the foundation, I believe, in anything. And I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about spirituality. And, you know, and the way we treat ourselves and the way we treat other people. And the bottom line is that when you have little goals that you accomplish, it helps build up your self-esteem. Because how many times, I don't know about you, but for myself, when I was using, I was saying, yeah, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I had all these great ideas, never did anything. And
that's why I have a saying. I have that saying that I'm living the dream instead of dreaming the living, because I was the same. All I ever did was dream of doing this and dream of doing that. Never actually did it. You know, sobriety will give you everything alcohol promised you. But you're right. You know, that internal dialogue as well, that I'm a piece of crap, that I'm never going to do anything. You know, I truly believe today, guys, that my dreams and my visions are from God, the God-given, you know, and I had a dream to do this and do that. And that's God saying, here's your future. And what happens is we hang around with the wrong people who stamp all over that dream because they're not good enough. They want to drag you down, you know. Never share your dream with people who never share your dream. That's one of the points for success. Now we talk about God, you know, people are scared to talk about God in AA rooms. I've seen people walk out when I mention God. It's like, look, there's 26,000 gods. Just pick one. That's what my old sponsor used to say. There's 26,000. And it can't be a God of your own understanding. Never says that in the big book. It said a God as you understand him with a capital H. You know, you can choose your own conception, but it has to be a God. 26,000, just pick one. And many people go, well, God either is or isn't. I'm not too sure, Rob. Do you know what my answer is? Go drink. Go drink until it is clear that you need God in your life and get well. Go drink. And, oh, you can't say that. I always refer back to the book. Step over to the nearest bar room. Oh, have you seen what this says? You know, all my answers today come from the big book because that's where it is. I mean, I've been in schools and colleges for 21 years, guys, to become who I am today. I've studied Carl Jung. I've studied the brain. I've studied science regarding the addiction. I've studied everything. I'm one of the best in the world at what I do, period. But I'll tell you something. The best piece of literature I have ever read is the first 164 of that big book. It hits it right. I mean, they're talking about a psychic change. When I came in, I thought psychic was a girl with a plastic, you know, with a glass ball or something, because people go and see a psychic. No, psychic of the mind. Oh, psychic, a change of mind. It's stuff like that we need to look at. If the neural pathways and mine are self-sabotaging, I think you said it before that, you know, we're going to fight against ourselves. If I don't change them neural pathways, have a psychic change, then I'm going to relapse because that's beyond my control. When that thought pattern starts to self-sabotage, which with me is alcohol, I'm going to relapse. We need to change them self-sabotaging neural pathways. And the way we do that is repetition, strengthen, and confirms. It's like driving a car. I can drive a car now, reverse out the drive, listen to music, on the phone to my best friend and wave to the wife at the same time. How can I do that? I've done over 20,000 hours driving that car, so that neural pathway for that single event is ingrained into my brain. But take me away 10 years somewhere and bring me back. I have to concentrate driving out the back. It's the same with alcohol and drugs. The good neural pathways have to be cemented. The psychic change has to be a knee-jerk reaction. Repetition. And people go, oh, well, I'm a bit bored. Oh, go drink. What? I'm not a mess. Look, sugarcoating this stuff kills people. I've seen too many people die, including me when I committed suicide. 7 times I tried on the streets, and on twice I succeeded. My heart stopped and they brought me back on the side of a smelly, stinky road. I'm not for your guy who wants to be walked through the 12 steps. I'm not the guy that when somebody walks in the rooms and goes, hey, little Johnny's had a slip. There, Johnny. Can you get him a cup of coffee, Rob? I say, no. Johnny, why aren't you on the same program that got me to a different place? Why are you messing around with this? You know, you see him every day. Oh, I'll get a silver chip. Oh, and everyone's clapping. It's like, shut up. What are you doing? Throw it away. Get sober. Get it done.
You're my kind of guy because I'm the same way, buddy. Exactly the same way. Stop playing victim and blaming everybody. And listen, you know, people have trouble with God. I was one of those people that had trouble with God. So an old timer came up to me and said, John, how about G-O-D? And I says, listen, man, I know how to spell. He said, no. Good, orderly direction. So that was my God for the first year and a half, until I found a God of my understanding. But the bottom line is that what you talk about is repetition, and you're correct. You can't, it's like people work out. They work out for a month, and they start getting in shape, and then they stop, and they think they're going to stay in shape. No, this disease is doing push-ups while we're sleeping, okay? You have to be consistent, and you have to continue to follow directions, not yours. You have to go with the winners. And that's what I found. That's why I'm coming up on, I guess, 37 years.
Yeah.
Recovery, continuous recovery. I mean, I never thought I'd get 37 seconds. So
No.
Now, you guys both touched on, the God thing, which could be a real problem and a stumbling block for people. We know this. And I always refer people to the part in the Big Book, which I think is the most brilliantly written part of the Big Book, where it says, you begin to see change the moment you start to seek the higher power. You don't have to find it. Nowhere in the book does it say you have to find it and define it. It just means you have to be on the pathway to seek something outside of yourself that you can draw power from in faith and hope. And you'll start to see the change the moment you honestly seek it. You follow me on that, Rob?
100%. If you believe in counselors, if you believe in doctors, if you're not seeing the change from day one when you're going to see them, fire them. I mean, when you hand your life, or your will, which is choices, and your choice and your life holds the care of God, you should be seeing changes from day one. If you're not looking hard enough, because things will happen. I've seen it. I mean, I've worked 6,500 people. I mean, I've seen it happen so many times. It's unreal. That's why when people come to my program, I guarantee they'll recover. I have $100,000 on my desk that I say I'll give you if you fail, because this is a God deal, whether you like it or not. If you're not ready for God, that's fine. There's 26,000. Just pick one. If you're not ready for it, I don't know about you guys, but I've really never seen any sober atheists. I just haven't, And if I did, the heavy drinkers. We've got to watch out for them guys in the room as well. They're the guys that just because you stop drinking from day one and they're 50 years sober think that I can when I walk in suffering from untreated alcoholism. And what he does to me is kills me.
Rob, you're talking about atheists and things like that, and we've never seen anyone. Yes, there are people that are atheists that do recover, but from drugs and alcohol, not from the behaviors. You see,
correct.
People don't get.
I like that.
What people don't get is this. Look, if you're still lying, cheating, you're doing it less. Okay, we never did anything a little bit anyway. And the bottom line is that. It's not just, look, I would still be using if I didn't, all the behaviors that didn't follow and didn't destroy my life and everybody else's that I touched. Because as you know, we don't just abuse drugs and alcohol, we abuse people, places, and things, including ourselves, of course. So the bottom line is what people don't get is this is a program about getting in touch with the soul, okay? The spirit. The energy, whatever you want to call it, that's the light, not the darkness. And what recovery does, it teaches us how to be human beings again. Because I don't know about anybody else, but you can't consider me a human being. I was a human doing, not a human being. And it was just a nightmare.
I love that. I love that. Look, the book says the drink problem will be solved, will be removed. The drink problem has been solved. People come to me and they go, I just want to stop drinking. I go, well, you're in the wrong place, man, because this is not about stopping drinking. This is about living a life beyond your wildest dreams. Anybody can stop drinking. Can you stay stopped? No, that's why. So you don't come here to stop drinking. You come here to feed your soul. You come here to bear witness to the still suffering alcoholic as you get better and better. You've come here to study a book. You've come here to get well and inspire other people. That's why that's what it's about. And they go, well, damn, I thought it was just about stopping drinking. It's a given. It's a given in the book. They give you that straight away. Bang. If people come to my company, it's like, if you don't change from day one, I'll refund your money. Let's not play games here. This is about change from day one when you go in. Hand it all over to 26,000. Just pick one of God, and then get a good sponsor. You see, listen, here's the cool part. And this is my findings, by the way, and you can find this on the internet somewhere. When we have a spiritual awakening and a psychic change, our DNA changes. Why is that important? People go, The sane man will drink again, the book says. So it's vital, means necessary to life, that we have a spiritual awakening and a psychic change. Not one of the two, have both, so your DNA changes. We are reborn, the book says. And that's what it's about. When you're reborn, we're the only people who get 2 lives in one lifetime. Let's make the second one count. There's no, you cannot relapse while working the program. It's an impossibility. I do it all the time. Well, I was doing my program, Rob, but no, you can't do both. You can only do one or the other, because they're guaranteed. The first manuscript of the press for that big book says 100% guaranteed. Yeah. I love that. Let's get back to that 99% in these rooms. Stop listening to shit. Stop listening to the people who've got nothing to say. Hey, listen, the only criteria here is a desire to stop drinking. I love them guys. Come in, sit down. But when little Johnny's at the back of the room suffering from untreated alcoholism, thinking of drinking and commit suicide, shut up. You've got nothing to say in here, guys. Shut up and let somebody talk who's had the spiritual awakening, psychic change, so you can inspire them and get them excited about recovery. Because I'm not going to do anything. I'm selfish. You know, oh, by the way, does alcohol kill us? No. Or does resentment kill us? No. Selfishness kills us, the book says. The rest are a tool to get there, but selfishness is where it all starts, a week or 2 weeks before the drink. Where was I selfish is what I asked myself today. And I still have to pull myself up today. I'm no king over here trying to preach. I'm just giving you my experience from a chronic alcoholic that lost it all, that is now back. If you want, listen, I've never had an alcoholic yet that's been stupid. We're all smart people. We have the addicted brain. If you want to succeed in life, you have to have $1 million brain, which all of us do in recovery. We do. I've tested it. We do. Stop hanging around with 10-cent brains. Start hanging around with $1 million brains.
Well, you know, the thing is that what people don't understand is also there's a lot of mental health issues too. It's not just about drugs and alcohol. And, you know, our food supply, or all kinds of things that are going on that's messing up our brains to begin with. Now, if you're genetically predisposed for addiction, doesn't mean you're going to be an addict, but because of epigenetics, as you know, social environment could change the gene expression. But the bottom line is that there is mental health issues with people. And, you know, if you really want to get well, you have to seek proper help. And a lot of people don't realize what proper help is. The program can help, I believe, everyone, okay? And what it does is it gives you a roadmap to recovery. But you got to follow the map. You can't just go off a side road and think that you're going to be okay. See, people think it's work. It's not work. You know how hard I was working when I was using? I had to lie, I had to cheat, I had to do this, I had to do that. No, it's not work. This is a way of growing, helping other human beings besides yourself, getting out of that selfishness and self-centeredness. And that's what people don't get, you know?
No, they don't.
And it's sad. They go, oh, I don't want to go to those self-help programs. They're bullshit. No, we're bullshit, okay? They're not bullshit. Oh, it didn't work for me. No, you didn't work for it. See, nothing works for anybody. You got to do the work. Everybody thinks that you just go and just take a seat and you're going to get it through osmosis. No, you got to do the work, man. Okay, just like when you go to a gym, you got to work out. You can't sit in the gym and say, oh, I'm in shape now. No, you got to work out. So it's the same thing. And, you know, what happens is, I believe, is that a lot of people are suffering from a lot of things besides alcoholism and drug addiction. You know, they got abuse issues, they got PTSD, and I don't want to forget those people. And you know, and they seriously have this stuff, and they drink and they drug to medicate that. But when you get on the road to recovery, then you have the possibility of addressing all the issues. But if you stay in the bottle or you stay in the drugs, all bets are off.
The road to recovery is always under construction. That's what I tell my guys. Always under construction. You know, we call it a mental injury. We don't call it mental illness because we believe you can get over it. We believe the brain is plastic and we can redirect and re-help, and you can be an amazing person no matter how far down the scale you've gone. Absolutely. But you're right. You know, people don't. This is what I love it. The last couple of years, I've seen nurses come into 12-step rooms and educate themselves on the disease because we still don't know that much about it. And nurses and doctors, what do doctors know? Doctors don't know anything about alcoholism. You know, they send you to the right place, or they send you to a treatment with a 2% success rate, expect you to get well. I've lost count how many times I relapsed when I driving home from a treatment center. The only place that's good is a few handfuls of people and that 12-step room we talked about. It's the only way. And the book has it all. You know, you can have an amazing life. Look at me. I've done it. I know thousands of people that's done it just like me. It's like quantum physics. Quantum physics says that we can be on a basketball, for instance, a basketball course. We can be up to 25, 30 places at the same time. At the same time. Where would I want to be? I'd want to be over near the goals. So when I got the ball, slot it in the net, I'd be the hero of the game. How do we get there? You walk over and you take that position when you're in recovery. You don't ask for it. You walk over and take the position. What you can visualize in a clear mind, you can hold in your hand. Is visions from God. Again, stop letting people walk through your clean mind in their dirty boots. Stay away from that crap. You know, anybody can succeed. It's not rocket science. Like I just said, it's not work. It's a few things, simple things I have to do. It probably takes 10 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night by the time I do a step 10. It's constant working on myself, constant where could I have done better? You know, I asked all my guys compliment 3 people every day because dopamine's released. We got to do that. Be of service to somebody, alcoholic or not, makes no difference.
Recovery is not a diet. It's a life change. That's what people don't get. And there are many roads to recovery. You know, like what people ask me, they go, well, I don't like this. I said, look, I don't care what you like or you don't like. Whatever works for you, I'm okay with. But you got to do the work. You can't just say it works for you and then just, you know, keep doing the same behaviors that you were doing before. You know, like we were talking about, there's people that we call dry. All right. So they stop drug and they stop alcohol. They do all the other stuff. They might as well go get high. You know, I mean, what are you doing? And the bottom line is that they go, well, I don't have time to go to these meetings. Well, think about when you were using and drinking. What did you do with your time then? Come on, give me a break already. All right? You know, the bottom line is, well, how are those people going to help me? No, they're not going to help you. You're going to help you. You're going to go in there and listen and see what you can pick up that may work for you. And, you know, look, treatment is just the beginning. Unfortunately, treatment is run by the insurance company. So they're not really, most treatment centers, not all, but most, are not up to par. Okay? And they just warehousing people, unfortunately. And the bottom line is that is, for some, that's the beginning step. Okay? But it's not just 30-day treatment. You got to go, this is a life treatment. This is not a 30-day treatment. You got a disease that will kill you and destroy everyone you love. So the bottom line is that surrender that ego, whatever's left of it, and go get the help you need and reach out. And, you know, and that's what I tell people. Look, we don't have your answers. You have your answers, okay? But you have to do the work and you'll find your answers. But I believe without some kind of spirituality, okay, that's a foundation for recovery. It's kind of hard to pray to a God of your understanding if you're stealing, cheating on your wife, doing all those things. Of course you don't have a God in your life. How can you? We're going to pray. The only time I ever prayed to God was say, get me out of trouble.
Yeah, Foxhole Prayers, my sponsor always says, Foxhole Prayers. You know, it's funny how I haven't got time for meetings, but didn't you walk in the snow that time for a mile to the liquor store? Oh, yeah, but that was different. It's no different. You know, this has got to be done on a daily basis. That's just the way it is. There's no money in recovery. The pharmaceutical companies run this country. Right. Why would they put something there that's positive? Why would they want somebody else to go into treatment one time and never go again? That doesn't make sense. It's like making a spanner that fits everything in the world. Why would you do that? It's like a car that runs on water. Why would they do that? Well, it wouldn't. There's got to be a constant turnaround for them to make profit. So the only place you're going to get pure recovery is the rooms and people like us who tell you how it is, because by the time you got to where I was sick of failing, you know, sick of failing. And I want to say something to all you guys out there, listen, and girls, if you don't feel you're good enough, if you don't think that you can do this and you don't think you're up to it, I want to apologize to you because somebody's put that there. We're not born this way. We're born to succeed. You hang around these people, the remapping of the brain from child trauma. There's always childhood trauma whenever there's alcoholism, period. End of story. All that stuff turns us in to the people we are. I used to hang around with a girl that used to go, shut up, in that voice. And without 4 or 5 days I was hanging with her and I started to do the same voice. It's the mirroring part of the brain. We mirror the people that we're around. So why hang around with the drug dealer still if you want to get clean? It isn't going to happen, And you also got to look at the family. So you have the family house, for instance, that talks German. You take our guy out there, you put him into a house, and we teach him a brand new language about recovery. Let's say Japanese. So he's fluent now in Japanese. So we send him back to the house who speaks fluent German. Guess what he's going to do? He's going to start speaking German again because he's hanging around the family who speaks German. The whole house has to be taught how to speak Spanish so that everybody's on the same page. This is a family illness. It's also a family recovery. Your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your parents, your kids, they've all been traumatized. I infected everybody I came into contact with my disease. Infected everybody. I got people to lie for me, even my mom and dad. Oh, yeah, he's not in right now. He's been working hard. He's having a sleep upstairs. Absolutely wasted. I couldn't even stand up. But they get people to lie for us. It's a disgusting illness. We need to bring it out into the open more. People do recover. What does recovered mean, somebody asked? Is that cured? First thing I say, buy a dictionary, dumbass. Recovered in the Oxford English Dictionary says to gain one's health and state of mind back. That's what it means. And we have 24 hours stay of execution. What does execution mean? Stay of execution. Oh, yeah. Wow. One day at a time. Oh, reprieve. Stay of execution. Yeah, it's all the same. We got today, guys. And that's all I want. I don't want tomorrow. I don't worry. In fact, I get my day the night before my wife says, here's your day for tomorrow. I love that, because I can stick to that day. And when I get off, I have 7, 8 wins that day. And my brain likes wins because it's always been told I'm never good enough. It's always been told that you never can achieve anything, until I got in with a set of great guys in the rooms. I got a couple of friends who believed in me, and the rest is history, and this is what life's about. Alcohol got nothing to do hardly with alcoholism, stop worrying about the alcohol. It'll take care of itself, Oh, I can't go to anywhere that alcohol's served. Having a barbecue, I can't go. I can't go to that barbecue. Shut up. You can go anywhere if you're in fit spiritual condition. Imagine going to that barbecue and going, hey, guys, listen. Okay, so the burgers you're cooking there? Well, I'm allergic to cheese, so no cheeseburgers today because I can't be around cheese. I can't be around cheeseburger. It's ridiculous. The same with the alcohol. If you can't go into places, go where there's drink served, you are not in a safe place spiritually, psychologically, and physically.
Well, you don't want to hang out in the bar, so that's another story. But there's a party and there's alcohol. If you feel uncomfortable, then don't go.
Exactly.
It's real simple.
Exactly.
If you guys don't mind, I just want to summarize real quick about, because we kind of started and went into a direction. I want people to really understand what you guys are talking about. And correct me if I'm wrong, both of you, but this is about, we're not doing a battle against alcohol or against drugs. Correct. That's not where the battle exists. The battle exists in we have lifestyles because of our disease of addiction, disease of alcoholism. We have lifestyles that make it necessary to have alcohol and drugs in us. But if you change that lifestyle, and lifestyle means change your thinking, change your reactions, change your faith, change your goals. And if you change those things, you create a life where it is no longer necessary to have those things in your life. Alcohol and drugs are not the beginning of your disease. It's the end result of your disease. Is that what we're talking about?
Certainly is. It's the end. It's the symptom. It's like if I had chicken pox. You might say, hey, Rob, you got chicken pox. I go, how do you know? See the spots all over your body. That's the symptom of the chicken pox. I actually have a viral infection that can kill me as an adult. So yeah, it's a brain disease. It's a mental illness. Our brain is remapped by childhood trauma. This is the normal brain. The normal brain, childhood. Your mom says, get down off there, you stupid idiot. You get down, you carry on with your day. This is the addicted alcoholic brain. Get down off that chair, you stupid idiot. I'll keep that stuff in my subconscious brain along with all the stuff. How many times have I told you, you can't go to college? You're not as clever as your brother. I'm going to store that in my brain. Doesn't happen with normal brains. And what happens is, I'm not good enough. And we find alcohol is the cure to everything. It was my solution for a long time. And then it turns on us. So yeah, forget the alcohol. In fact, let me tell you a quick story. I don't know what we're like for time, but in my disease, I'm stood outside a liquor store off license in England. It's 5:30 in the morning. It's snowing in Manchester. I have a pair of flip-flops on, pair of shorts and a vest. And I'm sweating profusely. And I'm shaking. I know the signs of DTs, delirium tremors. He opens the door at 5:30. He has no right serving me alcohol, but he knows who I am. So I said, same again. He puts the vodka bottle on. Listen to this, guys. He puts the vodka bottle on the counter. I'm shaking so much and sweating, and I can't speak. And I get my £10 out and give it to him. And I put my hand on the bottle, and this is what happened. My sweating stopped. My headache stopped. I stopped shaking. I was in a great mood. Not even opened the bottle. And it was right there and then when I knew it wasn't the alcohol, it was me. And that what set me off on an absolute aggressive learning curve to say to people, it's not the freaking alcohol. Stop concentrating on taking the alcohol away. It's got nothing to do with the disease. And that's where I changed things around.
I love that story.
Yep.
I love that. That really explains
That
it.
explains it, right.
If we could all wear T-shirts, alcohol's not my problem. The problem is it's always my answer. It's not the beginning of our problems at all, certainly. And I just want people to really get that. And with all these stories you guys are telling, that if you change you, that's where you win. That's where you win. It's changing you. It's not.
Here's another scenario that we did. Here's another scenario that we did about 100 patients with when they relapsed. Unfortunately, we did tests on them. Now, you guys might get this right. So we did tests on them from the relapse thought to the journey to the dealer to taking the drug. And you know what was most intoxicating? The drive to the dealer.
I'm glad you
Not
said
the drug. Yeah.
That's true. That's for gambling. That's for any addiction. Yeah. It's on the way there. You're more high on the way there than when you actually get there. And that's
Isn't that crazy?
It's all in, it's the brain just like focuses right on that. And it starts to get the adrenaline and all the hormones start changing. We're doing that, not the drug or the alcohol.
Exactly.
If people get that. We're in control of us.
I love that.
To be. But you have to learn how to do that.
Definitely. I love that. We're changing lives today, guys. This is a great talk on different effects, especially for people who don't fully know what alcoholism and drug addiction is about. Is like, if you could just stop taking drugs, if you just stop drinking, it's nothing to do with that.
And Rob, what about you? You have a book, you said, so I don't want to forget about it.
I have a book. So when they took the kids off me, when I had that first drink and they took them off me, my daughter said three things on the way out. She says, Daddy, please don't go. And she was crying and, she said, Daddy, please get better. I'm crying. The police are crying. It's just a horrible. And she got to the door, to the gate with my ex-wife, and she turned around one more time and she says, Daddy, please stop drinking. I went back in the house and I drank and became homeless. So that's the name of the book, because when I was writing it, she actually got in touch with us just towards the end and we started talking. And it was my wife when you come up and she said, remember the last three things Charlie said to you? I said, yeah, remember the last one? Daddy, please stop drinking. I went, oh, yeah, that's what we'll name the book. So it's Daddy, please stop drinking, only on Amazon. And all the proceeds, not the profits, all the proceeds, every single dime that's spent on that book goes straight back in the community. We give so much money back. If you're a one-parent family with children that's trying to get clean and sober, we will donate to you. And there's no end to how much we donate. We help people every day in this world. So that's what the book's all about. It's a great read. If you're into alcoholism or not, it's just a great read. It's a good story turned into a terrible story, turned into homelessness, turned into a success story. And we all
Rob,
like
do you have a website or someplace where people can reach out and see what you're up to and what you're doing?
Yeah, I spell my names with two B's, ROBBKELOY.com. And that's the website, robkelly.com. Or just put into Google, Dr. Robb Kelly, all the sites, everything will come up. If anyone out there is still thinking or had a loved one that you might think of, listen, I'm going to do two things here. that I rarely do. One of them, go to the website, send me an email. It'll go to the office. Just put it in my attention. But here's the guys for this show, okay? Here's my personal phone number. This is how much I care about people. 214-600-0210. I'm not selling my services. I'm selling nothing. What I am saying to you is if you're struggling, give me a call. I will change your life with a 10-minute power talk with you, free of charge. And that's just giving back. So I'll give you one more time, 214-600-0210. I'm here for you guys. I'm not just mouthing this deal. People think I'm aggressive and mouth. I'm not. I'm in this for the long haul, and the minutes to help people.
You know, it's interesting you do that. I do the same thing. I give my cell number to people. It's on my website. It's on my book. I'm here to help people. And my books, most of the time I give them away, to people. I want to, I give to treatment centers. Whatever it takes to help other human beings, because people help me that I didn't even know.
Yeah.
To change. And, it's about giving back. I get more high giving back and helping people than I did when I used drugs and alcohol. And that's the God's honest truth. And those of you out there that don't understand that, get into recovery and you will.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Rob, I want to thank you so much for being part of the show today. Hopefully we'll be able to do this again because there's so many things we can talk about, maybe get specifically into understanding the process of steps and different things. But if you're interested, we'd love to do more with you.
Oh, definitely. It's this is one of my better interviews because, it's just so much knowledge between you two guys. It's unreal. And I can really connect with that. Really connect with you guys. So listen,
likewise,
anytime that I'm on and anything I can do, you let my assistant know. And I want to say another thing as well, guys, you have such an effect on people with the show. You have such an effect with people out there, and we never know how much we affect people. And I want to tell you, I want to thank you for doing this. I want to thank you for the people that you are and the power and the strength that you give while you're carrying the message. So thank you, guys. You are absolutely awesome, both of you.
Thank you too. Same way here, man.
Absolutely. Really. Absolutely. And there's a great synergy when you get people that are all working towards the good cause and trying to do the right thing. For that, we've had a great show. We want to thank everybody for joining us. We want to thank Dr. Robb Kelly for joining us. Of course, John Giordano and myself want to thank everyone. You've been listening to How to Beat Your Addiction, Live a Quality Life right here on the ATC Network.
And put a like and tell your friends. Okay, because we need to get this information out to people that are suffering. All right? We don't get paid for this. We don't make money from this. We're doing this to help human beings the way we got help. So please like this if you like it and send it to your feeds so we all can help as many people as we can.
Thank you. Rob, thank you very much.
Rob, thank you. Love you, man.
Thank you, guys. Love you too.
God's work and helping God's kids.